So I recently finished this book, Prepare Them to Shepherd by Brian Croft, and I found this book to be very beneficial. It is a very short look at how to raise up godly men in the roles of elders, whether it be on the mission field or in a pastorate. Basically, how to train up men to function as biblical elders within the local church. Now, this is a very short book. It's about 110 pages, including the appendixes. So it's very good just to hand to someone to get their thoughts on, or as a quick resource that someone can read if they're wanting more information on this particular topic. What I felt like the book really does well is it lays a foundation, a theological framework for this thought process, and then delves into how you actually apply that. So what you'll see Brian Croft do at the start of this book is he will lay that theological foundation. For example, on the calling of a pastor, the qualifications of elders, etc., so forth. That type of a theological framework. But then he moves into the application of that. This is where I really felt like this book, like the other part was really good, but this book excelled at this point of the application by Mr. Croft going through what he calls the testing, training, affirming, and sending model, where he talks about the fact that a local church is responsible to affirm and send out biblical, godly elders who are called to be pastors, called to be missionaries, and serve in the ministry. And so he goes through this model of testing, where you're testing a man's gifts by doing things like taking him on hospital visits. If you're a pastor, you're taking him on hospital visits. You're occasionally giving him opportunities to preach or to lead Sunday school classes, so on and so forth. And then he talks about the training, and basically those things that you're doing in testing, once you go through that testing process and those things begin to ramp up, it really transitions into training. So the more preaching opportunities that you give someone, obviously the more trained, the more prepared they're going to be. And then you move into the affirming. So at this point as a church, you've gone through the testing stage of an individual, you've trained them quite a bit, and now it's time to decide, are we going to affirm this individual that yes, they're called to the ministry, they're qualified for the ministry as far as they fulfill all the biblical qualifications that an elder is supposed to fulfill. And then you affirm them at that point, and you send them out. That's the last stage, is to send them into the ministry. Obviously, some men are going to stay within the context of your local church, but oftentimes you're sending men out into other positions at a different local church, or you're sending them even across nations to reach the unreached with the gospel. And so the sending process, it doesn't just mean that you send them and you're done. And that's what I love that this book pointed out, is it's still about maintaining that connection and trying to give them support throughout their ministry and really being engaged with the people that you've tested, trained, affirmed, and sent, continuing that relationship. So this was a very good short look at how to raise up godly men to be biblically functioning elders within your local church, and also to send them out. So I would highly encourage you to read this, Prepare Them to Shepherd by Brian Croft. I was greatly blessed by it, and I think you will be as well. Have a great day.